Hello again, my dear ones. I hope you have answered the first two questions from my first video and you're already a little more aware of the reasons why your life and your body look like this today and why you want to lose weight. So I realized and I was told that I forgot to introduce my 5 steps. And that's true. So I pause here and insert a little video I have made about the 5 steps. We had the first book already with some questions in the first video of mine about this goal setting. But now I insert the short video to introduce the 5 steps shortly so that you can know what awaits you. Okay, so I'm back. That was a little introduction of my 5 steps. We continue here as I promised. Some of the questions in those books we do here together for free in the video course. So if you don't have any money or whatever, you can do it here with me. So you have the most important questions and hints that can serve you pretty well without buying the books. But you should have at least paper, a lot of paper you can use to answer the question. This is the core thing, that you really get on your own track, that you really understand yourself, and therefore you have to answer the questions and use a lot of paper. Empty your brain, brainstorm everything that comes to your mind. You should put on paper and in answering the questions. Okay, let's go on. I hope you have answered the first questions in my first video. If not, go back to the first video about weight loss and the first step in it. And do it. You could also begin with the questions in this video, but I think it's not so ideal. I would go back first, pause here and go back in the first video and do the first questions. Take this hour you need for answering the first 2 questions and watch and hear, listen to my introduction in the first video. Okay? So we go again on your track, personalizing your weight to your weight loss, to your goal, and shaping your goal. This is something you have to do. Nobody can do this for you. Okay? No doctor, no partner, no child, no friend, no nothing. You must find your goal. It must be totally personalized, and you must know at the end of this book, ideally, or at the end of those questions, this is my goal. This I really want to achieve. I feel it. I know it. This is my goal. Okay? For me, in my journey, also in the first pages here, I tell a little about my journey. For me, it was the 58. For certain reasons I explained in the first video. The 58 kilos. This was my first really goal weight. I had it on my fridge. I forgot that I didn't see it anymore. And only when I achieved my 58 kilos, 3 months later, I saw the sticker on my fridge again. I didn't see that anymore. And I think it has influenced me because I didn't believe I could make it. From 75 again in my age to 58. I actually thought I would love to have it. Yeah. Oh. And the first times I looked at this number on the fridge and I forgot it again. And then it was in the fridge for years and I didn't see it anymore. In the beginning I looked at it and thought, oh, yeah. But I didn't really think I could really make it and hold it through and really have it again for sure. And I have this now over 1 year. I want to go down further. But anyway, this was my goal. And I knew it. This was, oh God, yeah, I would like to have this. Yeah. I kind of felt relief just thinking about that number. Strange, right? But yeah. And I would like you to have your real goal, you know, where you really kick in, click in, where you really say, yeah, oh gosh, I would love to have this weight again, this body. Oh yeah, this is your goal. When you kind of feel this relief. So now let's go further to find your way, to find the way to your weight loss. And the first and most important step is to find the right personalized goal, right for you, for nobody else, where you kick in, where you click in. So the next 2 questions are in the book, the next chapter. Now, what is your motivation? And there are 2 questions. For me, they build upon the first questions. There are some people also in psychology and some researchers in psychology that claim we should do those questions here, which for me are the next ones, first. They call it find your pain. For me, this is not so totally right. I first want to find my dream, you know. Therefore, I would suggest follow my sequence. But in this special case, you could also switch. But the rest of it, you should follow the sequence I give you, because it's building on each other, on the first, on the next chapter, and so on. Okay? So the next 2 questions is, what do you hate in your life? What don't you want to have anymore? What do you hate? What do you find disgusting? What don't you like anymore in your life? This is the next question. And also here, use the workbook I have developed for you, or just take some scratch paper, but you should really brainstorm and write everything down there. What you hate in your life, what you don't want to have anymore, no matter if it's job, partner, family, stress level, pressure, money problems, the house, the apartment you live in, I don't know, the old car that hardly functions, and so on. But write it all down. What don't you want to have anymore? What do you hate in life? Okay, and take the time for this first question. Find your pain, find your disgust, find the things you want to move away from, you know, to your dream life. This was the first, okay? So if you have done this, also first we take the entire life, all its elements. What do you hate? What don't you like? What do you disgust? And brainstorm and put it all up, jot it all up. Okay. And then the next step, the next question would be, insert. Don't forget to subscribe. Okay. So you can follow your journey to your weight loss. And it will go on here. I will do some questions of the books of the 5 steps here on YouTube for free. There will be a course someday to pay. There will be other things. If you want to have personal coaching, please contact me. So the next question would be, after you have done the overall, I do not like anymore, or at all, the next question would be, what do you hate? What do you not like on yourself, on your body, on your discipline, habits you hate? And you know maybe exactly that this habit is closely correlated to your fat buns, you know, your fatty parts on your body. That could be, for example, I don't like my fat belly. I don't even can go down anymore to my feet. You know, when I stand, I don't see my feet. This is awful, by the way, okay? Or you can't do your shoes, your sporting shoes, you can close them, whatever. This kind of immobility one has when there is too much in the middle of the body, you know. I had this too. I don't like my breasts to be so big, or I don't want to have so much cellulite everywhere, you know, because I have too much fat on my body. I don't like my face to be so big. I don't like my feet to be so swollen. I don't like it that I cannot climb any stair without being exhausted, you know. Okay? I don't like to feel always hungry. I don't like to binge. I hate it to binge. I hate to eat instead of one donut, I have to have 3 of them. Okay? I hate all this. I don't like to spend a lot of money for unhealthy stuff. I don't like to sit in the evening on the couch lazy, you know, and eating chips and beer. It's every evening the same thing, and it's a bad habit, and it has to do with my bad shape. I hate it that my partner is as lazy as I am. And so, you know what I mean? Put everything down. You hate, not that you hate your body. No, I don't mean that. But that you hate, it's also a feeling, you know. We feel fat because we cannot do some things. Now, if we're standing straight and can't see our feet, then we have too much on our ribs, on our belly, on our hips, wherever, you know. It's a fact. We should see our feet standing straight, okay? Yeah, and so you go on like this, you write everything down you hate in your shape, your condition, your habits, your way of eating, drinking. Maybe you say, I hate it that I always eat so fast. I kind of developed this habit having my children. It's too much stress, and I thought I could save time eating so fast, but you know, it's a fact. If we come to that a little later when it's about eating and so on. There's a great research about that, eating fast thing. And yeah, remember, your life is this kind of gem, and you have the possibility to cut it in a way that the right great shape and shimmering comes out. Okay? Maybe right now your life looks like this, a little rocky. Yeah, this is yeah, it doesn't look so good. It's also a gem, a little gem, you know. And it's a true, real stone, but not cut. It's not. It was only with hard power, you know, cut out of the rock, more or less. And here, there is some effort, has been put some effort in it, and cut well so that it's shimmering. It's a difference, right? Now your life maybe and your body is kind of in a raw state, just functioning every day and not feeling very well, maybe some illnesses or not well-being and inflammations, whatever. Maybe you even have to take pharmaceutical stuff. I don't take anything, by the way. Yeah, so think about that. What makes your life look so raw and unpleasant? What makes your body look so raw and unpleasant? What don't you like on your body and its consequences concerning your condition, breath, and so on? That you're maybe not breathing, or some steps you take on the stair, you're exhausted. All these kind of things. Okay? And please take the time for each question. Make a brainstorming. Really sit for yourself. Either you stand up or get up in the morning half an hour earlier, an hour early, so that you have time for yourself. Make yourself a cup of tea and sit down and answer those questions. And also in the evening. And do only one question per day. Though you think over the day about this question again. Let it linger in your head so that you really get acquainted with it, and that it lives in you, and that you find more answers, that you think, okay, I really don't like this. And then when you the question, what don't I like on my body, on my condition, on my fitness level? If you have this question in the morning and have made your first answers, and then you go through the day, and you realize, oh gosh, this is also something I hate, that you sit behind your steering wheel and you don't even have space enough between your belly and the steering wheel. You kind of squeeze there, yeah? Or whatever, or that you walking from your car to the supermarket, you're already exhausted, something that you need the car to lean on, kind of, you know what I mean. So gather during the day, take the question with you for 1 or 2 days and collect all things you don't like, what your actual shape, the fat on your body leads to, okay? So that you really know, okay, this is also something I hate. This is also something where my fat hinders me to do something, or where I feel too exhausted in the evening to go out for a walk because I'm so heavy and okay. Because I ate this big ice cream at the supermarket directly after. Yeah, we are different. Nobody is exactly like you. I'm sorry to break those news to you. Nobody can do this for you. You have to come on your own track. And therefore it's important that you take time for each question. You have to get to know yourself. You have to get to know your habits, and you have to get to know the why behind those habits. Why do you suddenly have that? Did I have that 20 years before I didn't live together with my partner, before I had those children, before I had this job? You know, realize where things come from. Realize what sneaked in without you even having had a conscious decision for it. This is the worst thing, you know, those sneaking in bad habits. Okay. You have to get on your own track. Sorry, only you can do it. The books I've already said it in the first video, are not thick because they're not reading books. I won't give you a diet. I won't give you recipes. Maybe later I have some nice things I develop for myself. But this is not the issue. Those are questions you need to go through for yourself. And to really go through, not just in a rush, writing. No. Take one question for 1, 2, 3 days and look what this question lingering in your head brings you to the answers you maybe meet during the day, the following days. This is the sense of those books. That are workbooks together with a notebook, so you have space enough to write all the things down that come in your head, and that you go back to them maybe later again. Then we tend to forget, you know. also I sometimes have to go back. How did I do things in the beginning of my weight loss? I want now to lose again 5 kilos, so I eat a little too much for that. I have for 1 year it was about maintaining. I experienced how much I can eat to hold my 58 kilos. This is around 1600, 1700, 1800 calories per day, depending on my activity level. But this is too much to lose weight. So I then have to go back and look, okay, what did I eat in the beginning of my journey? Much healthier, more salad, more etc. Okay, so you can go back if you write it in. It's matching in style, so you find it easily again. And yeah, but it's up to you. Some questions we do here together. If you don't have the money, they're pretty cheap. I think every book is under 10 euros. The price is not really my price. You know, you always have to. It's self-published, but there are high costs also for Amazon to store it, to print it, and so I don't earn very much of those books. And sure, a little bit, but it's really not. I probably won't get rich with it. So you don't have to fear that I make my pockets full with those books. It's more for you. It's helping because I know you don't get it anywhere out there. It's a first. It's based on my knowledge in every kind of those fields, psychology, and also the brain-body connection, my own experience, the many research I read, and so on. So go for it. I wish you that you really get on your own track. You have to find your way, you know, how to lose 20 kilos and keep it forever. We put in one time. This was my recommendation to myself. I put in one time again the work. And then I keep it forever. I do it so personalized and so fitting to me, like a narrow glove, you know. Next time I will bring a glove with me. I think I have a leather glove somewhere. Really customizing, really personalizing it to our own, like a narrow, you know, leather costume or whatever, second skin, inside and outside. Okay? So, think of your life, cut the right things away, make it shimmer, and then it will develop like magically. If you have those questions and your own track, you kind of don't have to think about it anymore if it's really in it, you know, in your brain and in your heart, in your life. Okay. I hope you do the 2 questions and the first in the first video. I wish you luck until my next video. See you. Success for you. Bye.